Alrighty then, we're back. All right, man, let's talk some NBA. We talk about Luka and Austin Reeves better without LeBron. Also going to talk some John Morant. And I will probably expand or expound on what Gilbert Arenas said about Josh Giddy and LaMelo Ball. So it'll be a little, I won't be long, but so think about LeBron and Austin Reeves and them. I've watched a little bit of the Lakers. I've been into the NBA. I was kind of taking me getting used to from hearing like Vince Carter on the call. Like the NBC broadcast is just like if they in their living room chopping it up watching the game. You know, it ain't like, Marv Albert and I actually like Doris Burke calling the games. I like Mark Jackson and them. So it's a little relaxed, cool vibe. You know what I'm saying? Something different. It's a relaxed, cool vibe. So, but just to put that out there. But looking at it, I thought Austin Reeves was better when Luka was out. So it just shows you that the NBA has a huge issue. And I remember I seen a little clip where I seen they talked about it where Brian told Steph Curry in a joking way, you destroy basketball with your three-point shooting and everybody trying to shoot three-pointers. But LeBron also destroyed basketball too because, he's so ball dominant. Everybody is trying to, be ball dominant. They can't play without the basketball no more. And that's becoming a huge issue in basketball that nobody's talking about is these guys get to the league and they have to learn how to play basketball. They only know how to play basketball with the ball in their hand. And that goes offense and defense, okay? That goes offense and defense. So I think a lot of people don't really understand when I say that. They just think from a moving without the ball like Rip or Reggie or, making plays. They just associate that with that. But defending, spacing, cutting, if LeBron is driving and your spacing is terrible, hey, you got to know how to shift. LeBron going to the hole and he drawing a double team, you got to know to run that baseline without the ball. And a lot of guys just don't know how to play basketball in general, but they really lose themselves without the basketball. So you see guys like Jaden McDaniels have to come to the league and learn how to play without the basketball. And when you don't learn how to play without the basketball, you end up like Tyreke Evans. You end up like Michael Beasley. Like all these guys, you see them in open runs or you see them overseas, and they're phenomenal basketball players. I mean, what's the white boy name that went to prison and hoop with them? Jimmy Fredette. You like, man, these guys are phenomenal. Why couldn't they make it in the NBA? It's because they never learned to play without the basketball. Defensively, catching and shooting, spacing, slashing. A lot of those good dudes their whole persona in basketball or all their attributes is with the ball. There's only going to be so many LeBrons, Jason Tatums, Joel Embiid, Joe Jokic, just dominant players with the ball in their hand. You're most likely not going to be that type of guy. So you have to learn how to play the game the right way. And when you watch basketball today, it is a bunch of people who don't know how to play the game. And that's just what it is. It's a bunch of guys who don't know how to play the game. When they get to the NBA, they start learning how to play the game. That's why college is so pivotal for guys in the how to play. You know what I'm saying? That's why when you play AAU is a destruction. When you play Little League, you learn triple threat, escape dribble, three-man weave. You learn how to slide on the court to play defense with your feet and not your hands. You learn how to do the passing drills. You learn how to do the bounce passing drills. You learn how to pick up full court press. You learn press breakers. Oh, don't dribble. You can't beat the press via the dribble. You got to beat the press via the pass. Oh, this is how you beat the zone. Offensive rebound, box out, the small zone, you drive and kick. That's when they don't have that no more. Personal trainers are not teaching kids how to play basketball. There's no way me and you one-on-one, I'm going to show you how to play basketball. That's why, elementary school basketball, middle school basketball, high school basketball was so vital to the development and the development of these young guys' skills, because you learn to play with the ball, learn without the ball. You learn how to box out. That's something to do without the basketball. You learn how to attack the zone, how to space, how to play a team game. You know what I'm saying? You know, you probably did have your best player back then and all that, but it was a team sport. You worked on free throws. You know, when y'all warmed up, it was layups. Maybe you shot a free throw and an elbow jump shot. So that's a problem. All them guys need their best with the ball in their hands. And until Luka Doncic learns how to play without the ball in his hand, until he figures that part out, you know what I'm saying? They'll never win a championship with Luka. You know what I'm saying? Until he learns how to be a team player and learns how to spot up and post up and make the right. And people look at assists. Oh, he got that. Assist doesn't mean you're a point guard. Assist doesn't mean you're a floor general. Statistically, you can't measure the impact of Magic Johnson like really did as a true point guard. Isaiah Thomas, people know the real Isaiah Thomas. He could average 30, 40 a night, just like Michael Jordan. But he sacrificed his game for the Pistons to win a championship to get everybody involved. He was a scoring machine. But he was a true point guard. John Stockton, true point guard. Steve Nash, true point guard. I know people hate giving Steve Nash his credit. I don't hate it. He deserved it. He was the last of a dying breed, a true point guard. Until Luka learns how to play without the basketball, he ain't gonna win on no team. He has to learn when to score and when not to score. Because you do all that exerting energy, and Michael Jordan had to figure it out. You exert all that energy scoring the basketball. By the time you get to the Eastern Conference Finals or the Western Conference Finals and the Western Michael Jordan was wore the fuck out. Luka gonna be wore the fuck out. Then I'll be like, well, he disappeared in the playoffs. He's not clutch. And then the motherfucker tired. And one thing I say about my young bull in Detroit, Cade Cunningham, he found something out that Chauncey found out late in his career or in the middle of his career. He found out when to pick and choose when to score. He's figured it out when I need to score a bunch of points and when I need to let my teammates get them involved. Once Luka figured that out, and maybe they have to get him a Scottie Pippen. Maybe they got to go find him Isaiah Thomas or Magic Johnson to unlock that. But he got to let if Jason Kidd, one of the best point guards of all time, couldn't get him to play without the ball in his hand, you know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna happen. Luka's gonna have a hard time winning the championship. He's gonna have a very hard time. You ain't gonna win the championship with the ball in Luka's hand 90%. LeBron is an anomaly. LeBron is one of one. And that's one thing I give to LeBron. And, LeBron won the championship with the ball in his hand primarily. But then again, unlike Michael, he passed the ball. So that's kind of different for Luka. LeBron made the right play. Luka made the right play for Luka's stats. So long story short, will LeBron fuck it up? I mean, yeah, anytime you integrate something like that, of course he will, but, it's up to whoever the coach is over there to figure it out. Ja Morant's attitude, let's talk about that. It's just a shift in parenting. I remember Kenyon Martin called out T Morant. I wish he would have kept that behind the scenes and sat down with the brother, but I get it. But he's right. You know what I'm saying? You have an elite job. You signed a contract to do a job. I remember, I think it was Joe Burrow who told this story. I think it was Joe Burrow. I think it was him. He said he wanted to play football. His parents said, you can't quit. If you started, you're going to finish it out. And he wanted to quit, and his parents still made his ass go to practice. What happened to that type of parenting? We didn't want to wash the dishes, but if we didn't, we would have woke up with a left hook upside our head, make your ass take out the trash. That's my pleasure. You know what I'm saying? That's what we would have woke up to. We were raised to do things that we didn't want to do. All right? Remember the brother from the Lions said he wanted to get drafted anywhere but the Detroit Lions, St. Brown. He got drafted there, and guess what? 3, 4, 5 years later, he said it was the best thing that ever happened to him. Everything happened for a reason. When you attach things with a negative output, or you come in with a negative energy coming into it, ain't nothing but negativity gonna come out of it, young brother. Ja Morant, be positive about your situation. Yeah, it's hard to wake up in Memphis, and I hear Desmond Bain was talking about the facilities was bad and they cheap in Memphis and all that, and they not at first. I get it, right? But attack it. Don't have an attitude. You got a Nike deal. You got a beautiful daughter. Enjoy what you got, because you could be working at, it can be all gone tomorrow. You could be at Family Dollar boxing shit up tomorrow. It all can be gone tomorrow. So attack your situation. Attack your situation, or I'll say attack your situation with positivity. Don't pout and cry to get out your situation and be a disruptor for the rest of those brothers who have elite opportunities. Be that shining light. Be the bigger man. Be the positive guy. Get your attitude together. And be the best version of John. Let the chips fall. Don't come in there with a negative attitude. I was that guy younger, punched in, hated doing the job, and at the end of the day, I still did the job. It made the job less fun. Now you gotta come approach things where you have a positive output. Be positive. Be positive, Ja. Be positive. Be positive. And I know it's hard. Be positive. You have a job that most people would die to have, would kill to have. Most people will kill to have that job. But to what Gilbert Arenas said about LaMelo Ball and Josh Giddey, it's some truth to it. Right now it's a small sample size of Josh Giddey balling. It is small sample size, and him doing what he's doing. But to be honest, he's a more friendly teammate. LaMelo, his dad was fighting and arguing with him when he was a kid. He's just one of the rebellious children. He's a rebellious child. He's a rebellious child. Until he figures out some discipline and some structure, and that's what it's going to take for him to be successful in the National Basketball Association. He's right. Josh Giddey plays the game the right way. Josh Hodjo, teenage girl, Giddey plays the game in the right way. And you can't deny that. LaMelo Ball plays an exciting brand of basketball, a highlight reel, but Giddey's going to make the right play. Giddey's going to do what is needed. LaMelo more talented? There ain't no doubt about it. It ain't no doubt about it. LaMelo is by far more talented. But when you start talking about playing the right way, having the right discipline, being team friendly, all those type of things, Josh Giddey is the better player. He's the more structured player. He's the more disciplined player. He plays the game closer to the right way. And until LaMelo Ball gets that structure, and that discipline, and they reel him in, I don't understand why semi-trucks, why they want to get over, stay up behind the rest of the trucks. They be killing me with that shit. They be wanting to get back and forth over like they a regular car. You're not a regular car. Hate the fucking semi-truck drivers like that. Dog is going like godly slow though. I don't blame him. But I see why he's going slow. These semi-truck drivers be really thinking they in a fucking Fiat. A little Fiat, what they call them, Mini Cooper. You're not no fucking Mini Cooper. Really think they be in a fucking Mini Cooper. All the fucking trucks, the cement truck, every truck over to the right. This guy want to be tail whipping, speeding behind me. Shit is crazy. But hey, appreciate y'all. Check out the NBA Talk playlist. Peace.